sharing that. Please stay with us. Now we move on to Europe. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz has said that the European Union is ready to hold talks with Russia to end the war in Ukraine, but parallel channels of communication will not be opened. He has made these remarks during his visit to Abu Dhabi, where coordinated talks between American, Ukrainian, and Russian representatives are currently underway. Merz has said it is widely agreed that the key to ending the conflict lies in Moscow. However, he noted that Russia's rigid stance is slowing the progress. Meanwhile, Germany's leadership role in the EU has also been highlighted, and optimism was expressed regarding rising investment and ongoing free trade discussions with the UAE. Furthermore, Merz has underlined that supporting the coordinated peace talks remains the priority regardless of the challenges. Let's listen into what the German Chancellor has shared.
Natürlich immer bereit, auch mit Russland Gespräche zu führen. Im Augenblick werden mit uns abgestimmte Gespräche hier in Abu Dhabi geführt, wie gesagt, zwischen den amerikanischen Beauftragten, der ukrainischen Regierung und der russischen Regierung. Wenn wir beitragen können, um diese Gespräche noch besser zu machen, noch erfolgreicher zu machen, dann tun wir das. Aber wir werden hier keine parallelen Gesprächskanäle öffnen. Wir alle haben ein Ziel. Wir wollen so schnell wie möglich diesen Krieg gegen die Ukraine beendet sehen. Abu Dhabi, das sind ermutigende Signale. Und das zeigt mir, welches große Potenzial wir haben. Es wird sehr stark auf Deutschland geschaut. Und es wird von Deutschland erwartet, dass wir auch ein gehöriges Maß an Führung in der Europäischen Union übernehmen. Ich habe von meiner Seite aus in allen Gesprächen gesagt, dass ich dazu zusammen mit den europäischen Partnern bereit bin, dies zu tun. Und was vor allem gesucht wird in einer Welt großer Unsicherheiten, ist Verlässlichkeit, Stetigkeit auch in den bilateralen Beziehungen. Das kann ich aus Deutschland anbieten.
Now for this, we welcome back Mr. Sutherland. He's joining us live from London. Thank you very much, Mr. Sutherland, for staying with us. Now, you know, we have seen not many, but few European leaders become more open to talking with Russia about Ukraine. What do you think has changed in their perspective? Do you think it's the US's role in particular, or do you think that these, coalition of the willing leaders are feeling the limits of trusting US with the mediation role? What do you think has changed?
You asked a very good question, and in many ways you were giving huge clues to the answers. And we also have to remind that the European economy, the growth of those economies is in absolute dire straits, along with their mass lunatic immigration policies as well. We have to go back to February 22 and the fact that we have to look back and say how many opportunities has various European leaders taken to then solve this war, get people around the table and have that discussion. Under the Biden administration, no, there were no efforts to do that whatsoever until Trump then reached out to Putin and said, we need to meet. Hence meeting in Alaska in the way that they did. Assume European countries, of course, understandably are then concerned if this then escalates, where they're then concerned, will Putin then take over further countries in Europe? All of that rhetoric has been there since the attack in this operation that Putin and the Russian Federation then undertook. But there are other factors, which is the state of Europe. But let's just come back to this. The important issue is the appalling loss of life on both sides. Now, whether you are then having North Korean troops fighting on Russia, but the other concern is now there was muted that other countries will then be offering troops to then fight on Russia's behalf as well, which is all deeply concerning. And if that comes from a particular ideology, that is also deeply concerning as well. We want this war to stop, and yes, frankly, with various politicians, there has not been enough effort to do that. If not, no, we'd rather not have any negotiations, And it's also, as we also note in this country, it was very very interesting how people went from COVID-19 to then all over social media, and then putting Ukrainian flags all over social media and on public buildings in this country and elsewhere. It needs to be solved. We need people to come to the table and solve this as soon as possible. And we wait with bated breath whether this is actually going to happen, Asuma.
With that, I would like to thank Mr. Sutherland for joining us and sharing that insight. Thank you very much. Now we move on to Switzerland. Authorities